Hi everyone, it's Dr. Saunders, and I want to talk today about semi-occluded vocal tract exercises, or SOVTs. Many of you have hopefully heard of this from your different voice teachers or in your voice study in the past, and if not, great, you'll learn a little bit about it today. So just a little bit about the science behind semi-occluded vocal tract exercises is it's a way to help kind of regulate the pressure change from below the vocal folds to above the vocal folds. So if you think about it, you have your air that you're blowing out of your lungs is flowing through the vocal folds. And if you have like say 100, your pressure is at 100 and above them is at a 0, the vocal folds have to take on that amount of pressure and regulate it. But if you have a little bit of pressure from above the vocal folds, it takes off some of the strain and they don't have to work as hard to regulate that airflow. So when you do a semi-occluded vocal tract exercises, you are not letting out all of that air from the mouth. So, the air that's flowing out of the mouth, a little bit escapes, but the rest of it is refracted back and creates that pressure above the vocal folds. So it helps you get a nice even sound. It helps relax the larynx or the vocal tract, and it helps get you the most easy production that you can get. So it's a really awesome exercise. It's super helpful for a lot of various reasons, but that's kind of the science behind it. A lot of times we don't go into those details in a lesson because it takes a lot of time. But if you want to know more, just ask what your voice teacher, and we'd be happy to send you to some more resources if you're kind of interested in that science bit of the singing. So what I'm going to do today is use a straw. So if you have a reusable straw, awesome. If you have a plastic straw from McDonald's or any straw that you have will work really well for this. So you can do it in a couple different ways. I'm just going to show you on a 5-note scale so you have an idea, but you can apply it to really any exercise or any pattern that you want to do. So we're going to start with this. Make sure you're holding it and that there's not a ton of pressure around the lips. You also don't want any air kind of leaking out of the sides. And you're just going to do a nice, buzz through the straw. It's not going to be super loud. And just notice, are you cutting out at all? Is there any squeakies happening? This is a really helpful way to kind of balance your register. So if you hear a little squeaky, you probably want to do it a few times, that same pattern a few times to kind of even out that production and see if you can kind of make it a smoother transition from one register to the next. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna do a few going up. Now notice, am I pushing with a lot of force? Can I do it with less effort? Make sure that you're not really pushing on that high note, especially like I don't want, it should all be really easy, even flow. There's just kind of like a mid-range, but like I said, you can apply this to any pattern or ump that you want to do. Now another way that I love doing this is actually my favorite, is to do it with a glass of water and bubble through the water. It just creates a little bit of extra resistance, and it's kind of fun because it's kind of silly too. So let's do this with an arpeggio. Now make sure on this that you're not kind of stopping the air or stopping the sound between each note. I don't want, or does one note kind of pop out more than the other? See if you can make it really even. And let's do a few going down now. So you can take that, you know, kind of wherever in the range. The main thing is to make sure you don't have any tension in the throat, that you're not kind of breaking up the legato, and that you're using a very smooth, easy production. If you want an extra challenge, you can use a smaller straw while you're doing the straw without the water, and a bigger straw if you're doing the bubbling with the straw in the water. This is also a really awesome exercise to use if you have had a heavy voice day, or you need to you need to take a light day or a rest day. Say you've been a little sick, you were at a football game screaming too much, you kind of practiced too much one day, or you had a really heavy usage day the day before. This is a really awesome way to kind of still vocalize in a way that's not going to be super heavy, a super heavy load on the voice. It's also a really awesome exercise to start with and end your day with, because it just kind of gets things warm, and it also helps you cool down. I also like it to use to check my legato, like I mentioned when we were doing those arpeggios. It's really obvious when you start to push too hard or stop the airflow, or you know, it really helps you even out that tone production. So I really love to use it in my songs as well. So you can use this, sing your song, or if you're learning a piece, do it this way. That way you're not over singing. So I hope you enjoyed this little intro to SOVTs. There'll be some more exercises you can do that are related to this as well. And if you ever have any questions, make sure to ask one of your teachers. Have a great day.